Hello everyone, this is D.N. Molo. Hey, okay, can you hear me now? Hey, hopefully this is a bit better. Maybe turn it down a bit to reduce the echo here. Hey, so as I've said, this is D.N. Molo, and today we are continuing the critical commentary series for my webcomic Mission Quest Thing. No, when I say thing, I usually say with just the exclamation point, not just the question mark. Even though it's spelled exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. I guess to be fair, saying a surprised, shocked kind of way is a bit harder than just saying it in a more energetic way and all that. Well, enough of that ramble. Anyway, uh, let's before we get on to the video we're doing today, I just want to something as you can see here in no comment I forgot to mention yesterday, but I did try drawing uh, the rounder eyes, bit different and all that. No, slightly, yeah. I mean, you can definitely see it here. Yeah, kind of. I guess I kind of made it a bit more like a rectangle with rounded sides instead of just a weird oval like a circle and all that. Honestly, I think I should try drawing round eyes more like rounded ovals instead of just circles and all that. And I think that would look a bit better and all that. But do it slightly different than what I did here and all that. I know. Hmm. As I guess another thing is that as you can see in these all your episodes, the shape of the nose is a bit inconsistent. And also, the ears are bigger than what I have been drawing them in the latest episodes and all that. And you can, check out the later episodes right now for free and all that. All the chapters of my webcomic are free. As soon as they are uploaded, they are free. Anyway, let's get on to the episode 5 I wait no, I mean episode 7. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, I think I might have miscounted here. Okay, let's pause the video for a moment. Okay, I counted correctly. So that's good. Anyway, let's get into it. I really do like this particular episode. This is the best episode that I made since the episode 3 and all that. In fact, it's better than episode 3 now. I mean, now, so far, I wouldn't say this is the best episode I've made in the entire series, but it's definitely, I say in the, probably like, in the, it's definitely, okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is definitely, better than a lot of the previous episodes and all that. I feel with this episode, it's definitely a step up, that it's definitely more improved, and you can see that right away with the background here. I know that, one of the reasons why I think I ought to, go back and redo some of the artwork for some of the earlier episodes, particularly the first two, especially, is because honestly, I think I like how the buildings here look here than they did in the first couple and all that. Particularly with the color and all that. Mm. But yeah, honestly, I really do like the color that I chose here, and also just how the buildings are designed and all that. I really do like the buildings and all that. Definitely very nice. That and also kind of fits that the buildings would like this, since this is more of the downtown area of the town. But enough about the background that I drew myself. Let's also talk about some of the characters designs that I've made here. I like, as you can see here. I mean, there are pittance here. I believe in previous episodes I mentioned how the numbers denote the year and all that. So yeah, second year high school student. So base sophomore. Yeah, yeah. These guys are in the sophomore year. And also, you guys can see here the decorative pins for on each of them. And honestly, it's the decorative pins that I yeah, got that idea from part four of the manga and anime series JoJo's yeah, Bizarre Adventure. In fact, I think I'll look up a picture of the protagonist for that specific part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so that way people aren't familiar, kind of get to what I'm referring to here. Right, so okay. So yeah, as you can see here, uh, yeah, yeah, right, this is a good picture right here. Yeah, so as you can see, negative, kind of ends and all that. That kind of showcase the character's personality. Of course, the pins on the uniforms here aren't nearly as big and as these, but yeah, yeah, it definitely tells you a little bit about the characters, And so yeah, we got a order with a purple and cross guard here, and a fire-shaped pin. Over here we got the symbol for the drama club. The two masks. Well, I guess it's more so a symbol for the theater and all that. Basically, one mask is showing a smiley face, one mask, frowning face, representing tragedy and comedy and all that. The two sides of that. Over here, two swords, with a blue handle and a blue cross guard. Mm-hmm. And over here, yeah, 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 yeah. It's not the best image, but basically, they represent the equipment for look for the sport of cross ball, which, as I mentioned in the previous episode, is basically just lacrosse and all that. I don't know what they call it. Lacrosse bats, sticks, whatever. Yeah, basically you hit the ball with them. And over here, obviously you got hearts, one pink, one purple. Anyway, that's enough talk. Hmm. This reminds me, I definitely ought to, change the dialogue here and all that. That's that's gonna be coming up. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I just like this image right here. Yeah, I definitely like the artwork right here. Mm. 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 yeah, I can see tried a new method right here, splitting this panel into two from a diagonal point of view. Very neat. Uh, hmm. Yeah, honestly, yeah, honestly, I think I'm to change the dialogue here and all that. But yeah, anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about this dated meme here. Okay, okay. Yeah. In case you didn't know, this is referencing a meme. Yeah, I'll show you the meme right now. So yeah, the me and the boys meme and all that. Where basically, shows a outward image of this one I guess screenshot from the 1960s Spider-Man series and all that. Uh, but yeah, basically I decided to take this meme and have it and replace the Spider-Man the villains here with these guys. So you can tell by the expressions, how they mimic the Rhino, Vulture, Electro, and the Green Goblin's expressions here, and all that. God. Honestly, it's kind of a dumb idea, and all that. A really stupid idea. Yeah, honestly, if I were to do it now, I don't think I would do it here. I guess it's basically me, just going on my way to try to be funny in here, add a bit of comedy, but yeah, basically, uh, but yeah, right here, they're seeing 99 left balloons, that song for the 1980s, that German songs. That's I guess I decided to do that since the language that these characters speak canonically is called a Deutsch, which is very similar to the language German, the German language and all that. So, I mean, it's basically the same language. Deutsch is just, the is basically Planet Sketch's version of German and all that. So, yeah, basically. And fun fact about 99 Left Balloons, it's an anti-war song, but also it's kind of ironic because, these characters right here aren't exactly anti-war and all they know. They view war, the same way, a lot of people kind of viewed war at the sort of World War One, basic, young people anyway, kind of, excited about the prospect of a battle and all that. A naive notion of war. So that kind of ironic. And also it kind of just shows the naivete and stupidity since they're just singing the song because it's a catchy tune, not really paying attention to the lyrics because they don't really care about the lyrics. They just like the tune. As you see in the background, I added a red balloon in reference to the English version of the song. The title of the English version of 99 Left Balloons is 99 Red Balloons. Yeah, so that way, kind of keeps the rhythm a bit. Since, I mean, in English, we don't call them left balloons, we call them just balloons and all that. So, yeah, to keep the rhythm, you gotta add another word in front of balloons there. But I guess that's enough for the song here. Anyway, now the plot finally gets better interesting. As you see, as these high-tech spy planes are whizzing by. Uh-huh. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like how I drew the necks here. The necks look really weird, and it goes to show that even with the chapters that I consider to have good art, there's still a bunch of bad art here. I can even see that in this shot. The lines are a bit too thick for my liking. I don't like how thick the lines are here. But yeah, honestly, I do like this shot. I did a good job. Put a lot of effort in it to kind of keep the shapes. Make them angular and all that. These planes are kind of based off various types of World War spy aircraft. Definitely, try to make the onomatopoeia here, kind of stylized and all that. Yeah, I definitely, I do like this panel here. Very, very nice. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, anyway, how about we start playing this song? I know, but this will probably get the whole thing copyrighted, which is why I'll try to talk over it and all that. Uh, hmm. How about I turn down the volume just a bit, and I'll talk a bit louder so that way you can still hear my voice and all that. Anyway, I suggest playing Roundabout by the band Yes. Now, you might be wondering why would I suggest doing this? Well, yeah, I think you'll might figure out eventually. Hmm. As you can see here, I think I made like the building as we get on here. The buildings are a bit bigger than I think they should. Also, had a bit of trouble, adjusting with the as perspective here. Also, as you can see here, let a fourth wall break, and then the sky turns red, and finally we see this terrible image, and to be continued. Yes, that's the entire reason why. It's just that because I wanted to reference another meme. I mean that originated from a show that I already mentioned, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's where the meme comes from. The yeah, but yeah, anyway, down here in the comment, I even start singing the song here. Yeah. Where I say, as you can see, I don't own the rights to the song, to spot all the memes. And this is my favorite episode so far. Yeah, but yeah. Uh, anyway, I definitely do not own the rights to this song here. It is a pretty catchy song here, and also I definitely love the artwork here. It's honestly kind of just beautiful, the dark, muted colors, the fire and blurring out, and smoke. Honestly, I really like it. As you can see, some of the flames, coming out of the chimney and all that, Yeah, so you can guess that some of the fire, ended up in the fireplace, then kind of got funneled up through the chimney, and now it's spouting out a few sparks and flames. So. Plus, I guess there's a few, hidden Easter eggs with the design of the houses here. I won't let you know what they are. I mean, they're referencing, future events. Kind of a tacky way of foreshadowing. That will be the end of the tacky foreshadowing here to come, unfortunately. But at least a bit better than string colors in the clouds. It's not. honestly, kind of dumb idea to put, between colors in the clouds. So like, which one is supposed to infer from that? I mean, real dumb, idea on my part. It's just me, or that sidewalk is a bit too big. I mean, so I guess it's from their perspective. So the bit warped, but also I think it's a bit too warped. I don't know. No, I think I think I know why the sidewalk's a bit too big. So I don't have to draw the other side of the street. Now, how's it on the other side? Oh, so as you can see, the houses to get very small in the distance real quicker than they should. Mostly because, I want to, limit the amount of drawing I have to do, and also, I'm just gonna pause that now and all that. It's probably making it a bit hard for you to hear me. Plus, kind of want to limit the possibility of getting copyright striked and all that. But yeah. Yeah, anyway, yeah, kind of, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, my issue is like, which side of the street are they on? Like, on, this side of the street, the house is a bit too big than what I've been drawing them to be, but, oh, so, alright, I mean, as I guess as you can tell, I decided to, just give up, trying to, use the map I created for the town and just decided to, okay, no, I'll just draw, the, it over, I want to be, partly because I kind of, dislike the map I drew for, the town since it's a bit, I think the street how the layout is a bit too much it's too organized for the type of town like it because the town is supposed to kind of be kind of like the old European towns, and their streets aren't as organized as towns in the United States. Okay, the streets are a bit more curved, and they intersect and all that. It's less good work planning and all that, less organized and all that. I mean, the town is definitely made more around just street, people walking and houses and all that, rather than the towns in the United States where the city is more likely to be built more around cars and all that. Of course, the older towns, specifically the towns on the east coast, there's a bit less good work, but there's still a bit of good work because it's more easy to organize and all that. But yeah, I guess what determines the layout of town is whether or not the layout was planned or not. And the reason why a lot of European towns look the way they do is because they weren't exactly, all planned out and sketched out and all that. There wasn't a lot of city planning. People just started living there and building houses where they mostly just wanted to build houses and buildings and all that. Anyway, I think that's enough talk for now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and check out any of the other videos as well. But with that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and most importantly, have a good day and goodbye.